Sometimes gotta let it go. Sometimes gotta look away. Sometimes just gotta know when to stick your middle finger up in the air.
Hey YouTube, this is Uncle Momo's music reaction channel where I provide my views on talented artists from around the world, both established artists and non-established artists. And I promise you that you won't be disappointed whatsoever. So why don't you come and join me in discovering amazing, talented artists and bringing it to the forefront of my channel for us to view. Now, my first reaction of today, I'm going to give you a small little clue. They won the Eurovision Song Contest for Ukraine with The Heart of Steel. Is that a clue? I think that's a big clue. And the thing about that is, I'm going to leave it right here. I just calculated something. So as soon as they won, I went onto Instagram and I sent them a message of congratulations. I put it on my community page and I'll put it up on here right there. Or right here, I don't know where. And I was just checking out the time. And it was around about, I think, 8 o'clock my time that I sent the message. And I think they sent it back quite rapidly. You calculate it. But I feel that they were still in the studio, in the bunker, when I sent them that message and when they replied back to me. So that was like, that's really, really cool, isn't it? So I've been getting a lot of mixed messages regarding the fact that they've won. And the thing about it is, look, Ukraine, you voted for him. It's as simple as that. And I get it because we've got like the, loads of different kind of, we've got Simon Cowell. Right, and the people that we think that's going to win, never win. One Direction, they didn't win. They came third, I think. So, and normally the people that come first in the UK never would be or never have the same success as the people that's come third or fourth. And that's really, really weird. So there you go. So I have reacted to the audio of Heart of Steel, and was it I don't care how you I don't care. Was it so I don't care how you feel? I don't care what you say. I don't care how you feel. Get out of my way. 'Cause my heart is made of steel. Or something like that. Don't care what the dun 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 dun. I do like it and it's very, very catchy. But a lot of people wanted Geri Howe to win. Well, if you wanted her to win, then you should have voted for her. There was a lot of stress for her, because she got an amazing amount of attention because of that strong song. Don't get me wrong, Kurtz did as well, because we thought it was going to be out of them two. And then, see, Tvorchi came in. And that's when they just came back from doing their European tour. So they got a lot of attention from not only Ukrainian people in Ukraine, but what about the Ukrainian people that's out of Ukraine? Remember, they toured in Europe. You didn't calculate that, did you? So the Ukrainians in London, did they have the opportunity to vote? The Ukrainians in Poland, did they have the opportunity to vote? The Ukrainians around the world, did they have the opportunity to vote? If the Ukrainians in Europe had the opportunity to vote, then it's going to be Tvorchi. Because like I said, they just came back from the European tour. Think about it. Geri just came back from America. Well, not just came back, but recently came back from America. So, I think she was in New York. So, now I was just calculating certain things. I thought, how was that possible? For me, that's how it was possible. Because the people in Ukraine are thinking, what's going on? I swear I voted for Geri. But if it was a split decision between Geri and Kurtz, then the other half, who's been battling between those two, the other half around Europe, well, obviously, Tvorchi, and that's how they won. That's how I feel. Let me know how you... Don't get me wrong, it's a lovely song. But I thought it was really, really straight down the throats with the song, where Jerry's one was more gentle, like a feather floating down, but it told you about how Ukrainians feel. This one is like, do you know? So we see how well it would do in the Eurovision Song Contest. I am blabbling way too long. Sorry for all that. I'm going to press the play button and shut my mouth. So, without further ado, you know what we're here for. Great vocabs and a damn good video audio music. Can you dig that? I want to see how well I know the live performances. I'll speak about it
Sometimes
after.
gotta let it go.
Sometimes you gotta let it go.
Sometimes gotta look away.
Look away.
Sometimes just gotta know when to stick your middle finger up in the air.
I'm not gonna stick my middle finger up in the air.
I cannot explain.
I cannot explain.
Tell you how I feel.
Tell me how I
Life is just a game.
feel. Life is just a game.
And I'm playing for the win.
And I'm playing for the win.
Don't be scared to say just what you think.
Don't be scared, y'all.
Cause no matter how bad someone's listening,
This is where it gets.
don't get what you say, don't get how you feel. Get out of my way, this I got heart of steel. Don't get what you say,
A lot of people have mixed
how you feel.
emotion about this track.
Oh, I got a heart of steel.
We'll speak about that after. Promise.
You just like to act the fool, tryna get in my head like when I turn in my headlights, I can see right through you. Tryna get a reaction, I just hit the action move. You know I can never lose. You like the attention too. This has never been about you. Don't be scared.
Have you actually listened to what the words are saying?
Cause no matter how bad someone's listening,
Someone else is listening.
don't get what you say, don't get how you feel. Get out of my way, this I got a heart of steel. Don't get what you say, or how you feel.
How you
I got
feel?
a heart of steel. Don't get what you say, or how you feel. Oh, I got a heart of steel. Oh.
So that was Tvorchi with Heart of Steel. I do like the song, but there's a couple of things that I want to get off my chest. And I know that a lot of reactions, YouTube reactions, have got their point of views and everything else. Number one, right, I was so freaking excited when I saw my face in the adverts in the Ukraine Eurovision national selections, in the adverts. And it was uncanny that it was my face that was rocking to Tvorchi on the second advert, and then they won. So I think maybe that's the reason why they replied back to me straight away. But as you know, I did react to everybody, and you know my point of view. And my point of view still stays. I'm just sort of like unraveling the connection of how it was possible that Tvorchi won. Number one, it's a good track, even though there's a few minuses in there. And the minuses, for me, is the Ukrainian culturalistic values within songs. When you're going in to represent your country for a song or whatever, there is always a essence of your country. If Jamaica was going to do the running tracks or whatever, they'd be wearing the colours. You know it's Jamaica. Do you know what I mean? And with this song was so modern, and listen, this is Tvorchi's style. Don't get me wrong. They're into the dance and house, and I love them. Basically, they're brilliant. I've reacted to many of their songs, and I am in contact with Tvorchi as well. I just missed their London tour when they was just around the corner from my house. Gutted, but they told me that they're coming back, so that's brilliant. What I'm saying is that their terms and styles of music is really modern and transcending over to many European countries. It's in terms of the European countries. So when it goes into the Eurovision contest, it's going to be sitting perfectly well with everybody else, because every other European country's got that, will be following some sort of that kind of term. But I believe that they will still have the essence of their own country within that song. So for me, I feel that if this song was just to go into the charts, brilliant. Number one, lovely. Everybody will get it, lovely. But because it's representing your country, I think you need to go back. Me personally, I think you need to go back into the production level, studio or whatever, and put some kind of Ukraine traditional instruments in there or something, just to make it feel that it's coming from Ukraine. Because remember, you're singing in English, number one. So there's not even any kind of fusion. You know, so imagine if you're singing, don't care what you say, don't care how you feel, get it out of my way, because my heart is made of steel. The first part in Ukrainian, you know, and then when it comes into the main part of the vocals, boom, 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 then you reverse it and say it in English. You know, just a little bit of playing about, just to put some bit of the Ukrainian stamp in there. Because, you know what? It's the same thing that I saw in last year's Eurovision Song Contest. There was a lot of countries where I thought, wait a minute, I can't even tell what country you're from. If you didn't have the flag behind you, I would not have known. And I feel that the Eurovision Song Contest is about, yes, you know, your vocals, but it's also your vocals from your, you know, from where what you're representing. So if it's Sweden, Sweden going in there, I'm expecting Sweden to do some yodeling. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Some serious cultural background that pushes down and say, look, there we are. That's why I thought that with Jerry Howe's one, it's got the modern terms pop. She's singing in Ukraine. Then she goes into fusion. She's got the modern, drum and bass element in there, and she's got the operetta in there. She just ticked all the boxes. And I remember was it Tatiana that said? Sorry, Tatiana. That's from Ginger. Juliana. She said something funny. She said there's too much fusions in the song, and then I saw it got on Jerry's back, and she just came back and said sort of like, that's what I wanted to experiment. Do you know what I mean? To put all those fusions. And quite rightly, you was right, Jerry. Do you know, sometimes the judges can be wrong because you're an artist. You want to express yourself in an artistic way. But we're not talking about Jerry right about now. We're talking about Tvorchi. So I think it needs to be a bit of tinkering. That's what I'm saying. Am I surprised that it won? Not when I think back and said, like I said to you before, they just came back from the European tour. And if Ukrainians in Europe can vote, well, there you go. It's still in their mind. They will vote. They got their fans out there. Like I said, they just came back. So it's like ting, ting, ting. What calculated? That is just brilliant. Like I said, Jerry came back from New York. So I don't think there was worried too much about the vote. Even though they said, oh, it's surprising. Well, it just shows you how much fans you have around Europe. You know? And I think that's the reason. And that will play key in the Eurovision Song Contest, believe it or not. Because they're loved and known in Europe for their sound and their quality. Yes, you've got the R&B flavour. And you've got, the R&B factor. R&B. He was singing in a way like, come on. I don't care how you feel. Ukrainians have a folk Artem Pivovarov voice. I don't care how I feel. You know? Get out of my way. 'Cause my heart is made of steel. That's R&B. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with R&B. I'm not saying that you can't, R&B. Jamila's got the most soulful voice I've ever... Oh, Jamila. Tina Carroll, she's got the softest, soulful voice, but you can hear her Ukrainian culture in her vocals. Shumi, he's got the most loveliest soulful voice. Ocean Elsie, he sounds like Rod Stewart. He's got this raspy soulful voice, but you still hear the essence of, And I just feel that they need to put the essence into this track. Just for people, when they close their eyes, they hear the EDM, they hear the electronic dance music elements go into it. Brilliant. So that's the European culture sealed in that transcends to other countries. Now just put your essence of Ukrainian, traditional music in there. Your choice is immense. Maybe, like what Jerry Howell did. The melodies of how, the song was hers, the lyrical construct was hers, but the melodies was from like a traditional old-time Ukrainian folk song. And she done a lot of that in there. So maybe just to use some of that in there and incorporate it, and then it's ready to go. Boom. Love it. Look, no matter what, you're going to be supported by Ukrainians because Ukrainians support Ukrainians. And that's that, So that's still. So looking forward to, I have to get there in May into Liverpool. It's just, just a train ride, about an hour. So I'll look to get my ticket and do my own report with my video camera and everything else and give you a background on that one. And that would be really, really exciting. But for now, as you can see, I'm in my Christmas jumper and I'm going to start doing my Christmas songs straight after here. So I think I'm going to be uploading about 6 or 7 today. I know. But yeah, I like it and there's my point of view. And I hope you like it as well. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button to indicate to you when my next uploads will be. But for now, I salute you. Boom!
Heart of steel. Don't get what you say or how you feel. Oh, I got a heart of steel. Don't get what you say